It's a big day in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Sports are everywhere. And right across the way, the Cleveland Cavaliers take on the Indiana Pacers. Many outside Cleveland wondering, is this the end of the line for LeBron James and the Cavs? They're hoping to move on. Meanwhile, the Indians are hoping to split this 4-game series here today against the Seattle Mariners. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Arch, when you look at the Seattle Mariners offense, right now they're only 16th in the majors in runs per game. But in this series, they piled up 22 runs on 26 hits. So this is a much more explosive offense than what they've shown overall so far.
If there's any indication of how they're playing against the Indians, they have been unbelievable. As a matter of fact, the Indians and the Mariners played 5 one-run games up until yesterday, which was a blowout. But when you look at that lineup, their first 6 or 7 guys in the lineup are very dangerous, and they have showed that. Not only can they hit the gaps, they can hit the home run. They're very good run producers. When you look from 2 through 6 here, Segura, the shortstop, 20 RBIs already. Robinson Cano always plays well against the Indians. He's a true veteran. And Nelson Cruz led the league in RBIs last year, and he's one of the best power threats in the game of baseball. Kyle Seager kills the Indians in this ballpark. Mitch Haniger, a guy that you don't even know. Look at, he's off to a great start. 9 homers, 26 ribbies.
And as far as the Indians go, remember, a year ago, this offense averaged 5 runs per ball game. So far this year, just a little more than 3.5 per game. We'll see if that gets turned around here this afternoon. We'll be back with the first pitch. Alan Jensen had the showstopper, and we'll hear from Josh Tomlin straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. And by Cleveland Clinic Express Care online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits.
And right across the way, it's the Cavaliers and the Pacers getting set to start in Game 7 of their first-round playoff series. The winner goes home. Rather, the winner hopefully stays home. You know what I'm trying to say. The winner keeps going, the loser goes home.
There you go.
It's easy for me to say. He's Jensen, I'm Al. Let's tell you about the showstopper today in baseball, and that, of course, the New York Yankees, who have won 8 in a row. and they have a record of 17-9. But they're still in second place because the Red Sox are 19-7.
The guy you see right there, one of their top prospects, Miguel Andujar, has been tearing the cover off the ball. No surprise, this guy, Aaron Judge, has as well. He went 3 for 6 last night. Andujar 3 for 4. And how about Aaron Hicks, guy in center field who gets overlooked a lot, but has been key in this lineup. 8-game win streak. The bottom of the Yankees order last night with Neil Walker, Andujar, and Gleyber Torres playing second base, combined 7 for 15, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. They are loaded, they are rocking, and they are the Bronx Bombers back with a lot of youth.
Yeah, the offense is great, but still some questions with that pitching staff.
Rotation, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Sabathia going to go tonight, and I think for him, he's somebody that's going to have to get big innings, just like Josh Tomlin is going to have to turn it back around for the Indians if they're going to go late in October.
Josh Tomlin going today for the Tribe. Matt Underwood and Rick Manning going for us. Let's set it up to them right now, fellas.
Al, if the Indians win, can we go home?
Yes.
Okay, good.
About 4:30 or so.
Well played, boys.
All right. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Let's get this one underway here this afternoon. Going to be cold once again at game time, but lots of sunshine overhead as the Indians try to get the split here this afternoon. Now, look, if you just look at a couple of Josh Tomlin starts this year, you would say, boy, maybe it's time to make a move. Maybe it's time to put him in the bullpen. Maybe it's time to find another starter. But you have to understand something. Josh Tomlin has earned over the course of the years a lot of respect inside that Indians clubhouse. So 1 or 2 starts is not going to deter what Josh Tomlin's teammates think and feel about him. Here now is the Indians' right-handed starter with our Hear Right sounds of the game.
They don't lose confidence in you over a couple of starts, and rightfully so. They could have very easily, but I started out this way last year a little bit and was able to route the ship towards the second half, and hopefully it doesn't take that long this year for me. But having that trust in not just them but my teammates as well, that the ability to go out there and try to compete and try to give the team a chance to win. Although that hasn't happened every start that I've been out there, they still have that belief and that confidence in me that I'm able to do that.
And when you have something to prove, Rick, there's nothing better than a challenge. And for Tomlin, facing a red-hot hitting lineup like Seattle proves a pretty stiff test.
Well, we know one thing. He's not going to back down from anything. He never has, and he never will. And he is the longest tenured Indian. I would love to see him go out and deal today and just keep it, off the end of the bat and keep it out of the middle of the plate. And you can see, following an Indians loss since 14, 22-13, 373 earned run average. Hey, this is a good offense from the Seattle Mariners, but the Indians offense is going to have to respond. It doesn't matter who toes the rubber. It seems like, they're going to score some runs. And remember, 5 one-run games between these 2 ball clubs out of the 6 played.
It's an Indians team that comes in here today, and remarkably, these 2 teams are very similar in terms of their overall season numbers right now. Tribe is 14-11. They have a 3-game lead in the AL Central. They're the only team above 500. The Mariners are 15-11, 1/2 game better than the Tribe overall, but 2 games back of front-running Houston in the American League's Western Division, where the only team under 500 right now is the last-place Texas Rangers. Josh Tomlin and the Indians take the field.
Well, let's take a look at Josh Tomlin's numbers. He is the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher this afternoon, and Josh pitched against him once last year, and it was almost a year to the day here at Progressive Field. It was April 30th last year. He got the win, and he is 5-1 in his career against the Seattle Mariners in 7 starts. That's his best winning percentage against any ball club. So hopefully Josh can go out there today and give the Indians a chance. And I think a big thing for him is going to get that first inning, get him out 1, 2, 3, and then let's see if it can settle in. So let's hope Josh has a good afternoon.
Let's take a look at Scott Service's starting lineup for Seattle. That man will lead it off. D. Gordon has 3 hits in the series, including a double and a triple. Gene Segura, who has been red hot, bats second. Robinson Cano will hit third. Nelson Cruz batting cleanup. Kyle Seager hits 5th. Mitch Haniger will bat 6th. Mike Zunino batting 7th. Ben Gamel hitless in the series, bats 8th. Ryan Healy at first base will bat 9th.
And the Indians defense this afternoon brought to you by Ram will be Brantley in left, Zimmer in center, Geyer over in right. On the infield, Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Gonzalez is at second today, Alonso at first, and Gomes back behind the plate.
And the umpires, Jim Reynolds will call the balls and strikes. Mike DeMuro at first, Chad Whitson at second, Mark Wegner, the crew chief, is at third. So we're just about ready to go. You look at the Seattle lineup now. So with Segura, Cruz, Seager, Haniger, Zunino, Healy, 6 of the 9 starters have homered for Seattle. Now the Indians had 5 home runs the other day, and it was 5 different players, all solo shots. 42 degrees at game time as Josh Tomlin winds it up. And we're underway as the pitch sails outside ball 1.
Boy, it was a little overcast earlier in the morning, but boy, by game time, there's not a cloud in the sky right now. Crystal clear.
Weather is going to start warming up the next several days. Bunted, foul for third base side. Never really had the bat hit out into fair ground. You could tell from our angle sitting up here that it was going to be foul the whole way.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point there. He was just trying to. And what you do, though, if you're a bunter and you're going to try and do that, you either make a perfect bunt or bunt it foul where you don't have to make an out. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yep. Much different than a sacrifice scenario.
Or just trying to push it in play and hit it maybe too hard to the pitcher. You either make that perfect bunt down the line or bunt it foul.
Why don't we see many drag bunters anymore from the left side?
Thing of the past. Everybody wants to hit home runs. That's not part of the game.
But I mean, even guys who do bunt. Ripped, fouled on the right side. You know, nobody really takes it with them very often. Yeah, occasionally you'll see it.
Yeah, you do occasionally. You're right. But I don't know. It's a thing of the past. The bunt is, getting phased out a lot.
Now the 1-2. Wrapped to center field. Will it stay up? No, it's going to drop for a hit. D. Gordon with his 4th hit of the series, and that's a guy you really don't want to let get on base, especially to start an inning. 10 out of 12 steals on the year for D. Gordon. Storylines brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Nelson Cruz, when he hits him, boy, he barrels them up.
Yeah, he does.
And Yonder Alonso has homered in 3 straight games for the Indians.
Well, this will be a good test. Gordon leads the league in stolen bases with 10. Tomlin does a good job of holding the runners.
And Gene Segura looks at a high pitch for ball 1.
Actually, when you look at the Seattle Mariners, this guy here, Segura, he has 5 stolen bases. So you've got the league leader on first base. The first 2 guys have 15 of the 17 stolen bases, and they're second in the league when it comes to stolen bases.
Well, you mentioned it yesterday. Gordon had 60 steals for Miami last year. He's on pace for 60 again this year.
Yeah. Oh,
he had a good jump, but he stopped. And the ball is hit to center where Bradley Zimmer will make the catch, 1 down.
It's that point when you're a base runner and you take off and he doesn't move, you think he sees you, but Tomlin didn't see him, so he just held onto the ball a little longer. And you can see good base runners, they like to get timing, their timing. And look at since 2011, D. Gordon on top.
Rajay Davis not in the lineup again today for the Indians.
Grizzly veteran, second.
See if maybe he gets a chance to impact this game late, though, especially if it's a tight game, which so many of the head-to-head matchups this year have been between Cleveland and Seattle. There's Robinson Cano now as Tomlin fires to first. Robinson Cano has drawn 17 walks already this year, among the league leaders. He is 7th in the AL in on-base percentage, over 400. And I think a big part of that is just as he has matured and gotten to know the fact that he is a dangerous hitter. He'll recognize that pitchers sometimes are either going to be very careful with him And you can't be too careful with Cano because of the guy on deck, Nelson Cruz.
Cruz hits the ball as hard as anybody in the game right now.
But you can't just groove one to Cano either. And so pitchers, if they start to get a little too fine, he's not chasing after many of those bad pitches.
Well, he's a veteran hitter, and he knows what he's going up there to do. And he knows how to do it. He uses the whole field. He's not a dead pull hitter. In the outfield, very straight up. There you see the infield a little bit to the pull side. You know, I'm looking out there and I'm sensing a theme there. Look at the high socks.
Yeah.
From everybody on the infield except Alonso. Everybody, or just and Geyer in right field has him up. Tomlin, I see, does. So.
Couldn't quite come to a consensus in the clubhouse.
Well, I know. Well, some guys are just, they won't do it. They don't like it. Doesn't feel right.
The 1-1. Cano to right field. Geyer making the catch, and there are 2 down. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our stat of the game, brought to you by Buick. Here is the highest average hit speed. In other words, when the ball comes off the bat on balls that are put in play, this is the so-called exit velocity for the top guys thus far on the year.
Well, Nelson Cruz yesterday had 4 hits. 3 of them were above 115 miles an hour, and 1 was over 100, about 109. So, I mean, he hits the ball as hard as anybody in this game still.
2 doubles and a home run in the series for Cruz.
You know, he's recorded an extra base hit in 9 of the last 10 games he's played against the Indians, going back to the last year.
Well, nobody knows more than Josh Tomlin how dangerous Nelson Cruz can be. He has great respect for this right-handed power hitter, and he just drilled him. Well, sometimes if you respect the guy, you just put him on, hit him.
Well, Josh Tomlin has to pitch inside, and he knows that you can't let good hitters go like that, and he ended up hitting him. Well, you take first base. There's nothing wrong with pitching in. He's got the protection on his arm, as you can see right there. You know, Tomlin doesn't walk many. So, you know, he has to pitch inside. That's all part of his game.
Now Kyle Seager. Kyle Seager is 6 for 14 against Josh Tomlin.
And this is a good 2-out hitting club, and this is one of the catalysts right here with 2 outs is Seager.
Popped him up. And for a team that has been on fire in this series with runners in scoring position, their first attempt today ends with a thud thanks to Josh Tomlin. The Indians are coming to bat.
He's the Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for the Mariners. 25-year-old left-hander. They acquired him from St. Louis last year in July. And he did pitch one time against the Indians September 23rd, went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, and that was it.
Tribe starting 9 for Terry Francona, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Frankie Lindor, Bradley Zimmer, Jose Ramirez. Then it's Brantley, Encarnacion, and Alonso. Gomes, Geyer, and Eric Gonzalez starting for Jason Kipnis at second base, batting 9th. No windup for Gonzalez, works out of the stretch. First pitch in there for a called strike. Lindor has gone 3 for 12 in this series with a double and a home run. His home run led off the bottom of the first inning in game 2 of the series and helped the Indians get out to an early lead, one they would not relinquish behind Corey Kluber. Chops it foul.
Well, Gonzalez coming off a start against the Chicago White Sox, where he pitched very well, probably his best start of the year. 6 innings, 5 hits, did not allow a run. Walked 1 and struck out 8.
Little low, 2-2. And a foul right back out of play. Frankie batting .276 over his last 14 games. Upstairs, full count. So he hasn't had one of those really hot tears like we saw Jose Ramirez get on recently. He's just sort of slowly inching his way back to where you expect him to be from an offensive standpoint.
You know, it takes a while to get in a groove, but remember what he did at the end of the second half of last year. He was one of the best hitters in the game.
The 3-2. Upstairs, ball 4, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard.
And let's check out that Mariners defense for you. It'll be Gamble in left, Gordon in center, Haniger over in right. Seager at third, Segura at short, Cano at second, Healy is at first, and Zunino behind the plate. And we're good at bat. I mean, when you're the leadoff hitter and you can draw a walk and you see about 6 or 7 pitches in that first at bat, it helps the guys behind you.
Zimmer bunts it in the air, and it's caught. Throw back to first. Double play. See, what we were just talking about before with D. Gordon.
Yeah.
This was more of a sacrifice type bunt.
Yeah, but he must have been doing it on his own. I really don't see him putting it on. It's the first time he's hit second all year long. And, you know, that one, he just put too much air under it, and Lindor got off first base by too much, so an easy double play.
Very close at first base, but the call is out. The Indians decide it's too close to challenge. They will not, and so a double play. Point being, if you're Bradley Zimmer, you know, if you're up there bunting in that situation, you want to try to get the bunt down, don't you?
It's bunt for a base hit. Like I said, I don't think it's like I said, I don't think Tito put it on. It was a sacrifice. I think Zimmer was doing that on his own.
So if you're doing it on your own, that's my question. If you're doing it on your own, you're not bunting for a sacrifice. You're bunting for a hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think so. You know, he's had 2 bunt base hits already, so I'm thinking maybe he's going to just try and put it down the third baseline and beat one out. And if it doesn't, if that's the case, he gets Lindor to second. You know, he'll get a sacrifice, but I don't think he was trying to sacrifice.
2-1 to Ramirez, and a base hit.
That always happens, doesn't it?
You can almost
you make a base running mistake, next guy gets a base hit.
Now let's look at the pitch that Ramirez gets a base hit on. Right down the middle, a fastball on a Nissan pitch tracker and just right up the middle. So 2-out single.
So Michael Brantley will bat with Jose Ramirez aboard. His second hit in the series for Ramirez, just 2 for 14. Brantley, on the other hand, is 6 for 11 against Seattle pitching here in Cleveland. And there's a line drive single into center field. That'll send Ramirez all the way to third. And the Indians try to do some 2-out damage now.
Michael been swinging a hot bat. So he wastes no time, jumps on Gonzalez early. He's going to get a fastball, and there it is. A nice short swing, line drive up the middle. So the Indians with 2 hits now with 2 outs.
Now we'll see if Edwin can deliver. This has been a sore spot for him thus far, just 2 for 17 with a runner in scoring position. And he takes the ball outside, 1-0. Edwin, though, has hit 3 home runs against Seattle, so half his home run total has come at the expense of the Mariners. Down and in. Waiting him out patiently. It's 2-1. Hard to believe that Edwin is just 2 for 25 against left-handed pitching to start the year.
Right, that's what we talked about, reverse splits. That looked like it might have been a little changeup on the 2-1 count. He's not overpowering. It looks like his fastball has a little run going into the right-handers.
Tossed to first, but nobody really too far off either bag. Inside, almost got him. Full count. Yonder Alonso waiting on deck. No score. Bottom of the first. Brantley at first base will be off on the 3-2 pitch. And a weak chopper hit to third. Seager will throw him out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. No score after 1. Time. The good news is sunny skies. For whatever that's worth. Mitch Haniger leading off. Mike Zunino, then Ben Gamble. Josh Tomlin pitches up and in, ball one. Haniger, the Mariners' home run and RBI leader, with 9 and 26 respectively.
Yeah, off to a very good start for Seattle for the first month of the season.
Only Didi Gregorius and Mike Trout have hit more home runs. They each have 10. And only Gregorius has more runs batted in with 30. Off the end of the bat, left center field. It's going to drop for a hit. Barehanded by Zimmer, and a long throw to second base, right on the money, drives Haniger back to first.
I'll tell you what, he did a beautiful job to cut that ball off and hold him to a single. Boy, he was thinking double, and he wisely put on the brakes, because watch Zimmer's throw. It is right on the money. He barehanded this ball. Didn't even go to the glove. It checks up on him. He cut it off because he was thinking of diving for that ball, but he just couldn't get there. Fires a seed into second base. Well done. Look at, he was thinking double all the way. He can't believe that he got there. Had to put on the brakes and go back. He was about over a third of the way down to second.
Now Mike Zunino pops one high in the air to left. Near the line, Brantley makes the catch. One down.
Well, this baseball season, get the game that delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now for Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, iOS, and Android. Learn more at rbigame.com.
That'll bring up Ben Gamble. In on the grass at third is Ramirez. Gamble not showing any signs of a bunt, takes a strike. High fly ball, right field. Geyer. 2 away.
All fly ball outs to this point.
Batting 9 for Seattle, number 27, the first baseman, Ryan Healy.
Ryan Healy has gone 3 for 12 in the series. He had a 2-run homer yesterday that gave the Mariners their final 2 runs in a 12-4 win. Outside, ball 1. Just a bit inside. 2 balls and no strikes. That one caught the outside edge. Josh Tomlin was a 19th round pick of the Indians 12 summers ago. The 581st overall player selected, came out of Texas Tech. in his major league debut, he went up against C.C. Sabathia, a former Indian, with the Yankees, July 27, 2010, and Tomlin went 7 innings and gave up 1 run on 3 hits. And you should have known then that Tomlin was a guy who was never going to be overshadowed by the big moment or awestruck by being on the big stage. That was any indicator. That was all you needed to know right then and there. So a couple of bad starts, while he's not happy about them and understands the growing concern, it's not going to rattle him in any way. He's still going to go out there. He's going to be the same pitcher. There's frankly not a lot he can really do and go out and change at this point. I mean, he is what he is.
Every pitcher goes out and they struggle throughout the course of a year. So Carrasco struggled yesterday for the first time in a while. But you know what? When you have it and you're a little older and people say, oh, you don't throw hard like Josh does, he's a pitcher. You know, he cuts it. He's got to keep it out of the middle of the plate. He knows that.
Line to left, that's a base hit. Haniger around second. He'll head for third. Brantley can't cut it off. They're going to wave Haniger around. Lindor's relay to the plate. He is safe. And the Mariners take a 1-0 lead on a 2-out RBI double down into the left field corner by Ryan Healy.
Well, they strike again with 2 outs. This Seattle team is a great 2-out scoring club. Watch, they wanted it in, it leaks out over the plate, and that's the mistake. And then he ends up turning it down into the corner. By the time they could get it, and Brantley could get there because they had him playing over the other way a little bit more, Haniger comes in to score the first run of the game.
Top of the order now, D. Gordon, who singled to center his only time up. And he punches one into right field. And they're going to wave him around. Healy to the plate. He will score. Alonso couldn't cut it off. And into second base goes D. Gordon. It's 2-0 Seattle.
Well, that's a bad throw by Geyer out there to allow him to get to second base. Hit your cutoff, man, and get it in. They were going to score anyway. So it'll be a base hit. He's going to go to second on the throw, and it was a bad throw here. Got to hit your cutoff, man. And you can see where Alonso had to go. He was lined up for home plate. He had to run to that mound to get there. So it's another run with 2 outs, 2-0.
Gene Segura fly to center, his only time up. But he has been a thorn. 5 runs batted in the series. Equaled his career high with 4 of those runs batted in coming yesterday.
This is a Seattle team. They're very aggressive when they like to attack the count early. They're last in the league in walks as a team with 69. You know, they don't strike out a whole lot for the kind of power they have, but they like to put it in play. This team reminds me of like the Kansas City Royals.
Base hit left center. Around third, D. Gordon. He will score, and it's 3-0 Mariners, and all of this happening with 2 outs.
Yeah, they've done it in every game in the series. 2-out Lightning. They're one of the best hitting clubs in the league. Here comes a breaking ball. That one stayed up a little bit, and he just continues to mash. They have top 4 hitters with 2 outs. They got Segura, who's one of the best, is the best. Robinson Cano is right there, and you got Seager and Haniger. Those 2 guys have hit 4 homers with 2 outs. So this is a hard lineup to get through.
First game of the series, there were 2 outs, nobody on base with Mike Clevenger on the mound, and Seattle had 4 straight 2-out hits to score 3 runs. In the game in which the Indians won 6-5, there were 2 outs, nobody on base in the 9th inning, and they scored 3 runs to close the gap to a single run.
No, in that case,
And
that was
yesterday
an
they had
umpire's
a
call.
2-out, 2-run homer by Kyle Seager in the 4th and a 2-out, 2-run homer in the 9th by Ryan Healy. So they have done a ton of damage in this series with 2 outs.
They're a very dangerous team with 2 outs. Well, you got to close out each inning, man.
Currently batting as a team .372 in this series with 2 outs.
No, they don't look like a team that's been on a 10-day road trip, do they? And they're heading home after the ball game. They played very well, 6-3 in their last 9 games. They will head home after today's game, but it's been a very good road trip for them. And I don't think anybody in all of baseball flies as much as this team does.
Outside with it, 1-1. Tomlin searching for that elusive 3rd out here in the inning. And he's not going to get it. Deep and gone. And just like that, the Mariners have struck for 5 in the 2nd inning. 3rd home run of the year for Robinson Cano. And they continue to just hammer away in this series with the bats.
Boy, all the damage with 2 outs. You can't say it enough. Those are backbreakers there. It's been 4 straight hits now with 2 outs. Oh, that cutter was right there, and that's a line shot. A 5-run inning, the 9th home run that Tomlin has allowed this year.
And that's going to bring up Nelson Cruz. It's the Mariners' 2nd 5-run inning in the series, and it's the 4th time they've scored at least 3 runs in an inning. Scoring in bunches has been their calling card in this series. 8th man to bat in the inning, Nelson Cruz, and he fouls one back. And the 1-2. Bounced in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tomlin gave up 4 home runs in his first outing, 4 home runs in his last outing. Now a home run here in the 2nd as Seattle strikes for 5 runs to take the early lead. So we'll lead it off for the Indians. Trying to climb out of a big hole early like they did yesterday. Unfortunately, yesterday they were never able to dig out of it because the pitching never kept the Seattle Mariners at bay. They were unrelenting in their attack yesterday.
Yeah, not able to. Now at 5-0, you have to put zeros on the board the rest of the way if you want the team to get back into it. It's a hard task to do the way they're swinging it now too.
Bouncing ball and a routine play for Segura, 1 down. When you ride with the Indians in Velosano, your registration is free. You'll get an Indian cycling jersey, and 100% of the money raised supports cancer research at Cleveland Clinic. Visit velosano.org/Indians for details on joining their team. Sandy Alomar, an avid cyclist. He puts on I don't know how many hundreds of miles in the off season, and then he goes to spring training and brings the bike along, and you see him biking along the roads. Not in Goodyear. Yan Gomes with 1 out, bases empty, takes a strike. He is 2 for 7 in this series with a double and a home run.
Your mindset now when you're down early in a game like this, 5 runs, can't get it all back at once. You just try and start and get on the board. You can answer that 5-run inning with at least a run, if not 2, and just keep them there. You have to remain patient with this guy. Don't go out of your zone. Stick with that game plan.
Drilled to deep right, down the line it goes. It is a fair ball in the corner. And Yan will head to second base safely with a 1-out double.
He's been doing that, Matt, the last week, 10 days, really staying on the baseball. And he's got a good swing working right now. That ball away, he let it get deep into the zone. He stayed. Look at the head. His head is straight down looking at it. And that ball stays fair. Double for Gomes, his 4th. Really good swing by Yan.
Well, not Brandon Geyer. Takes low and away, ball 1. Four of his 5 hits this year have come against left-handed pitching. He drives one high in the air, deep left field. It is gone to Souvenir City. Brandon Geyer with a 2-run homer gets the Indians on the board, and they answer back. It's now 5-2.
There you go. 2 swings of the bat, a nice double by Gomes, and then Geyer gets into one, and they are on the board. So well done. They answered that 5. They got 2 on the board and keep plugging away.
Challenged him with a fastball, and Geyer was quick to get to it.
See him pull those hands in. That's where he hit that first one off of John Lester, where he had a 3-1 count. He pulled his hands in and he hit the foul pole. Watch him pull the hands in this time. It gets the barrel to it, boy, and hits it a long way. So his 2nd home run. And let's make this, it's a Sunday, and make it a softball game. If Seattle wants to score, you got to keep up with them.
Meeting at the mound broken up by home plate umpire Jim Reynolds and Eric Gonzalez.
Well, he just allowed his 3rd home run of this year.
Takes a strike. The 0-1. Called a strike, and now he's in the hole, 0-2. You don't get a lot of playing time, many opportunities at all. What do you know? First 2 pitches.
Well, breaking ball for a strike, change up for a strike.
Gonzalez getting his 2nd start of the year at second base. So far this year, takes inside. 2-2. And that's strike 3. 2 down. First strikeout of the day for Marco Gonzalez. And we go to the top of the order, and Francisco Lindor.
Francisco Lindor.
Marco Gonzalez was born in Colorado. His dad was a pitcher at Colorado State and was a 16th round pick of the Tigers back in the late 1980s. Marco Gonzalez went to Gonzaga.
Yeah, he was the highest draft pick in the history of Gonzaga.
First round pick of the Cardinals back in 13. Another guy who's had to deal with the Tommy John surgery, long road coming back. In tight. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When he was in college, he actually was a two-way player. He pitched, and when he didn't pitch, he played first base. He was one of their better hitters. Ground ball up the middle, cut off by Segura. He fires a seed to first to get Lindor, and the inning is over. Indians get on the board. Brandon Guyer's 2nd home run of the homestand cuts the deficit to 3. Kyle Seager, the only man that did not bat in the 2nd inning, will lead it off. Because Carlos Carrasco only went 3 innings yesterday, Terry Francona is hoping that Josh Tomlin can get somewhat deeper into the game.
Well, I would think so. I would think they need at least 5. That bullpen is going to be a little tired today.
Now they did get essentially the night off previously because Kluber went 8 2/3. But when you look at guys like Otero, Beliveau, McAllister, they've pitched 2 of the last 3 days. Two one.
Yeah, this is Josh Tomlin is a guy that has to pitch from in front of the count where he can expand it when they can settle in and they don't have to swing at some of those close pitches.
It's by Alonso, but from the outfield grass, Gonzalez with a great throw. Yonder able to get back to the bag to field the throw, and that's out number 1.
I was
an unusual looking 4-3.
I was looking at Tomlin to cover first, and I was watching him. I thought Alonso wasn't going to get there. See, and then he circles back, and he gets there in time to make the throw. Really a good play. I was watching Tomlin. I said, uh-oh, he's going to get beat to the bag. But no, Alonso got back. Wasn't watching him.
Mitch Haniger singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Now for Eric Gonzalez, he was a shortstop pretty much his whole life. I think, naturally that's the position that he feels most comfortable at.
So the arm.
But he certainly knows with Francisco Lindor here, the road to the big leagues is somewhat blocked. So the Indians gave him the option of, hey, what do you think about moving around? So that's when that process began in the minor leagues, playing some second base, then playing some outfield. And he said at first it was tricky because he felt like as he was gaining experience at other positions, he felt like, well, now I'm not as good at the one that I want to be the best at, which is shortstop. So it requires a lot of work when you're moving around the diamond to stay sharp.
It's different looks. It's not as easy as people think. Oh, I'm a utility man. Well, how good can you, play every position? That's hard to do.
Pop back out of play.
Hard enough to play one position well to get up here to the big leagues, let alone 2 or 3.
The 2-2. And he got him looking. First strikeout of the day for Josh Tomlin. And there are 2 down here in the 3rd.
Now to the plate for Seattle.
First strikeout for Tomlin today. That fastball had a little comeback to it right on the outside edge. You can see the movement. And Haniger could not swing the bat, so there's 2 outs. But that's usually where Seattle has you. Right where they want you. 2 outs, nobody on.
Mike Zunino fly to left, his only time up.
15 runs in this series with 2 outs.
Missed outside with it, 1-1. Raise the eye level, try to maybe get him to chase, pop it up. Wouldn't do it, 2-1. Breaking ball down, and that's a good sequence. Run the fastball up, drop the hammer down. It's 2-2. And this one had good downward action.
Yeah, it sure did.
A couple of times today he's hung that curveball. This time Zunino goes hacking. He comes up empty. Tomlin bounces back, strikes out a pair. The Mariners go 1-2-3.
prices. You'll save big over single game prices and get exclusive perks. See Indians.com for more details.
Bottom of the third, Bradley Zimmer will lead off for the Indians. Jose Ramirez to follow, then Michael Brantley. Fouled right back. Zimmer attempted a bunt his first time up with Lindor at first base after he drew a leadoff walk. He popped it to third where Seager made the catch and flipped back to first for a double play. Chops one high over the head of the pitcher. Segura unloads and 1-0. Injury report today brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Joe Panik of the Giants has a left thumb injury, landing him on the DL. Williamson with a concussion.
How many guys do they have on the DL over there in San Francisco?
Byron Buxton, we told you about yesterday, dealing with the migraines, working his way back from that, and he fouled a ball off of his left big toe, causing a fracture. He's now out indefinitely. So that's bad news for the Twins, who have struggled mightily this year. Because you think about, you break a toe. This is a guy who makes his living with his wheels, running in the outfield and stealing bases.
Yeah, well, it's tough, boy. If you can't put any pressure on your any one of your feet, it's tough. You don't realize it until something goes wrong.
Minnesota finally snapped their losing streak yesterday, but just 9-13 on the year. Heading into their series finale today at home against Cincinnati. Baltimore shutting out Detroit 3-0. They're in the third in Baltimore. Tampa Bay
staying hot so far.
Yeah. Rays lead the Red Sox 3-0 in the third. Tampa Bay trying to win their 9th in a row. The 1-2. Well, Tampa Bay and the Yankees have each won 8 straight to tighten up the AL East, which looked like Boston was going to run away with it in the first month of the season.
Yeah, they're coming back to the pack now, aren't they?
Two. Ripped to third, fair. Down the line it goes. Ramirez on his way to second base, and he'll pull in there with a 1-out double, his third of the year. And he's 2 for 2 to start the day.
You remember his third at bat yesterday in the 6th. He got a base hit that stopped that 0 for, what was it, 14 or 15, something like that. And now he back. Here he comes again. Second straight hit in this ball game. This one will be a double, his third of the year.
Michael Brantley, single to right field. First time up, he's 7 out of 12 in the series. Chopped up the middle, will it get through? No, cut off by Segura. And good snag by Healy. That throw looked like it was starting to take off on him. 2 down, Ramirez to third. So once again, with 2 outs, it leaves it up to Edwin, who stranded a pair in the first inning. Now he's got a runner at third here in inning number 3. Little low, ball 1. To left field, right at Gamble. No runs a hit, another man stranded in scoring position. After 3, it's 5-2 Seattle. Cleveland, where the Indians and the Mariners wrapping up this 4-game series. Ben Gamel leading off for Seattle. He flied to right back in the 2nd inning when the Mariners scored 5 times on 5 hits. But Josh Tomlin has bounced back. He's retired the last 4 in a row. And you have to hope that continues because the Bats got you a couple runs back.
Yeah, they answered that 5-run inning with a pair themselves. So
high fly ball, right field. Geyer camps under it, fighting the sun.
Yes, he is.
And makes the catch. 1 down.
He's got the glasses on and also used the glove as well.
Take a look at our T-Mobile, built for baseball. The Diamondbacks.
There you go.
First time since 1907 Cubs in which a team has won 9 straight series to start the season. So the Diamondbacks on fire. And they are 19-7 to start the year. Meanwhile, Washington, they got to be wondering what's going on in Washington.
I know. Well, the Diamondbacks have won every series they play. They're on a roll.
Here's Ryan Healy. He hit a double that drove in a run in the 2nd inning. And Josh Tomlin with a breaking ball in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Tomlin's 60th pitch of the afternoon is chopped to short. Lindor with a perfect throw across, 2 down.
Well, guarantee yourself the promotional items you want this season by purchasing a promo pass for an additional service fee. You'll receive your item no matter what time you arrive at the ballpark. Visit Indians.com for all the details.
Top of the order, here's Dee Gordon, and he's already 2 for 2 with 2 singles. A run batted in and a run scored. Tomlin goes right at him with a strike. You know, there's some pitchers like Corey Kluber, you always say if you're facing Kluber, you'd want to swing at something early in the count because you know he's going to attack you.
Right.
With Josh Tomlin, you don't necessarily have to swing early in the count because you know he's going to continue to throw strikes.
Yeah, he's gonna hit the strike zone. But you know, in that first couple innings, he was having a tough time getting ahead of the hitters. Now he's found a groove.
The 0-2 fouled right back.
Yeah, this Seattle team, we told you the damage they could do. They've hit 9 home runs on the first pitch this year, and they have 17 2-out homers. One today as well. Cano did it.
The 0-2 threw the bat at it. Tomlin kicks it to short, but Lindor won't have a play, and Gordon is going to reach on a 2-out infield single.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that if that ball gets through that they were playing him up that way. Let's take a look and see behind him. He makes a kick save here on that back foot and deflects it. Lindor might have had a tough play there, especially with the speed of Gordon, but I believe he might have gotten there.
Well, now here's Gene Segura. See if Gordon tries to go. He's off. Well, no, he's stopped. And Segura hits one to right field. Geyer back. And that'll do it. No runs, a hit, a man left. Middle of the 4th. Seattle 5, Cleveland 2. Yonder Alonso. 3 straight games with a home run. First time he's done that in his career.
Hasn't messed around either. I mean, right center, straightaway center. That one was deep into the bullpen. When he gets that swing going and he keeps those legs strong lower half, he has a beautiful swing.
Yonder leading off for the second time today. Led off the second inning. Pops the first pitch up on the infield. Third baseman Kyle Seager. 1 down. You could hear his groan all the way up here in the booth when he swung at that pitch. You know.
Yeah, he felt something wrong with it. Either that or he didn't want to swing at it, and he did.
Yan Gomes had a terrific at bat his first time up. Took a pitch that was away and drove it to right field for a double. He's collected a hit now in 11 of his last 13 games. I don't know if he had 11 hits in a 13-game stretch all of last year.
Well, you know what? He's in a really good spot in that. You know, in the batter's box. You can tell he's seeing the ball well. He's taking it. He's using all fields. He's well balanced.
Funny, we always say that about hitters because it's true. When a guy's struggling, you look up, it's 0-2, it's 1-2. And that's the way it seemed for Gomes last year.
Yeah, but when you're swinging the bat well and you have confidence, you don't care if you get 2 strikes.
But what did you say about Gomes? Take your walks when he starts taking some walks, because the hitters want to hit their way out of slumps usually.
Everybody does, and that goes with every hitter for the most part. You know, if you're patient enough and take what a pitcher's going to give you, you don't get too greedy. You won't. You take that walk. Oh, just missed another double.
Wow, not by much either.
You know, if you take a walk instead of trying to hit your way out, you know, instead of swinging at the pitch 3 or 4 inches outside on a 3-2 pitch, instead of going 0 for 4 one day, you may be 0 for 3. Or, you know, you mix in a 1 for 3 instead of a 1 for 4 and you take a walk. Well, there's nothing wrong with it, but you try and do it. The instinct in a hitter is I want to hit my way out of a slump. You will if you're patient.
Tied him up with a good pitch there. Marco Gonzalez with his second strikeout today, and there are 2 down in the inning. Brandon Guyer's last at bat with 1 out in the second inning. His second home run on this homestand, almost to the same spot. First one was right down the line and hit the pole. This one landing among the patrons in left field.
We're at the Masters again. Well, they do have jackets on, but they're not green. They're the blue with a C or Chief Wahoo on it.
Yeah, you might see a green jacket out there, but the 0-1. Maybe a young man or two from St. Edward High School may have filtered in, but primarily the colors are red, blue. Now the 0-2 offering down on the dirt. For those of you who may have switched over at halftime of the Cavaliers game, the Indians got down early, 5 runs in the second by Seattle. But the Tribe came right back bottom of the second. That 2-run home run by Brandon Guyer cut the deficit to 3, and that's where we stand, 2 down here in the 4th. The good news for the Indians is that Josh Tomlin survived that second inning and then retired the next 6 in a row and seems to have found a little rhythm. The 1-2 out of play to the right.
Send along a happy birthday wish to Gene Abbott of Parma, celebrating his 90th.
Now the 1-2. Out in front of that one. Almost picked off Jan Gomes, who was at the end of the dugout trying to get a drink of Gatorade. Left-hander Marco Gonzalez, the 1-2 pitch outside. Brandon Guyer getting a good look at a number of pitches. He's fouled a few off. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up right here. And Guyer drives one high in the air to left center. Gordon, the center fielder, has it. And the side is retired. 5 straight retired by the Seattle left-hander. It's 5-2 Mariners through 4. The 2018 Kia Sorento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. Exciting times here at the Gateway Plaza. Cavaliers hosting the Pacers in a do-or-die Game 7 in their first-round playoff series. Meanwhile, here at the ballpark, the Indians lead the Mariners, or trail the Mariners 5-2, and Josh Tomlin trying to hold Seattle at bay. Robinson, Cano, Nelson, Cruz, Kyle Seager. If the Indians can come from behind and win today, they would earn a split in this 4-game series. Seattle has given them all they can handle so far in this year.
Yes, they have. And this will be the last time they run into them. Open the season there this year.
Seattle narrowly took 2 out of 3 in that opening series. They've won 2 of the first 3 here. First 2 were 1-run games. 2 teams split them, and then Seattle erupted yesterday for a 12-4 win. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike.
Well, Cano got a cutter his last time up, and he did the damage. He drove in the 3 of the 5 runs Seattle put on the board.
That could be trouble. Brantley, a long run over. Can't get it. And and it's going to be fair, and it's going to jump up into the seats for a ground rule double.
That's what makes this guy so good. You can't play him any one way. He had the count in his favor, and a lot of guys try to pull the ball, but he slices it and gets a double down the other way. His 7th double of the year. And he just, it looked like he was intent on staying and taking that ball the other way, whether it be left center or whatever, but he gets that one to bounce into the seats. Ground rule double.
And Seattle has their leadoff man aboard and in scoring position for Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz led the league in runs batted in last year. And yet Josh Tomlin feels that because he plays in Seattle and doesn't get maybe a lot of national media coverage, he is somewhat overlooked, but not by pitchers who have to face him.
Exactly, not by pitchers in the league, certainly not. He's been a great hitter for a long time. He was with the Rangers. He was doing a lot of damage. We talked about him signing that 1-year contract with Baltimore when he's a free agent, and then a 4-year deal. Boy.
How about that? Strikes him out on 3 pitches. And I think Cruz felt like 0-2. He's going to waste one here. He's probably not going to come near the plate. Maybe he was back on his heels, and Tomlin just painted the outside corner.
He sure did. It was that fastball away. That's the other pitch that he threw to Haniger. His 2 strikeouts have come on that pitch.
Kyle Seager 0 for 2. Has fly to center and grounded out. It's one way to move the feet. Cincinnati out to an early 1-0 lead over the Twins, 2nd inning at Target Field in Minnesota. They're just underway in Kansas City, where the White Sox and the Royals wrap up that series.
For today, the Mariners, after a 1-0 count, they are 5 for 10. They're sitting at 1-0 right now.
Gonzalez throws out Seager. Cano moves to third, 2 down. Mitch Haniger steps to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today. Single and scored back in the 2nd inning. He is the subject of our player profile, brought to you by Levin Furniture. And we mentioned it the other day. Went to the D-backs for Parra. Came to the Mariners along with Segura for Marte and Walker. Walker is done for the year with elbow surgery. Marte has become a good player. So in some ways, you look at all those deals, they've worked out for everybody. And
well, this one certainly worked out for the offense of Seattle, that's for sure. Arizona, they signed Marte to a long-term deal.
To center field. Zimmer racing in, slides, makes the catch and hangs on, and the inning is over. Halfway through, 5-2 Seattle. Cole Hamels the matchup. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Indians Live. First pitch at 6 right here on Sports Time Ohio, or streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Yeah, tomorrow, that's it. Say goodbye to April, last day of the month. And I don't think any of us here in Northeastern Ohio will shed a tear when we turn the calendar.
No, we will not. Let's go. It's time to warm up.
Though we shouldn't complain too much, the Indians will finish regardless with a winning record, and that's something that we haven't seen in a while. I should say with a lot of regularity. Fouled off. You think back even to when Eric Wedge was managing the Indians, it seemed like they were always a better second half team than they were in a first half team. First half.
For whatever reason, it seems like that every year. But they've always been a very good second half team. Ouch.
Shattered bat.
Got to get a new one.
We were talking earlier about Eric Gonzalez and his role of becoming a guy who can play in multiple positions. And we talked the other day, might have been yesterday, about Holbert Cabrera.
Right.
And I remember that Holbert said one of the adjustments that he had to make was his arm. He said your arm gets used to making certain throws and you start moving around in different positions. He said my arm would get sore.
Yeah.
You know, you get used to throwing from second, then you're over third, and then you're at short, and then you're in the outfield. And he said all those different arm slots. Yeah, he said my arm would get sore, so he really had to work hard on all those different throws so that you're ready at a moment's notice. The 2-2. Fouled away.
It is a little different at every one of those positions. You're right. And now there's times that utility men will play the outfield as well. You know, a couple infield positions. And then when you have to extend it out, that's when you can get a sore arm. But these guys nowadays, a lot of them, they long toss every day.
Two. And Gonzalez out swinging. Third strikeout for Marco Gonzalez. One down here in the fifth, and we'll go to Al Pulaski for a game break.
All right, Matt, Rick, Tampa Bay and Boston. Yesterday we showed you Denard Span hitting an inside the park homer. Today he went the more conventional route, giving Tampa an early 2-0 lead. Tampa Bay trying to win their 9th in a row, taking on the Red Sox today. They're up 3-0, bottom of the 5th inning at Fenway Park. How about them Rays, guys?
Yeah, they were unbelievable. Playing very well.
An incredible turn of events, Al, because it wasn't that long ago when they had that implosion against Boston. Looked like they were they're gonna finally win a game, and then
they gave up 8 runs.
Bottom fell out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And instead of maybe torpedoing them and then really falling into the abyss, they somehow pulled themselves up by the back bootstraps and are right back in it. Francisco Lindor with a base hit, 1 out here in the 5th. His first hit today.
He drops the head of the bat on this pitch right here. It's down. Look at that. Breaking ball. And he hit it right back where it came from. Gonzalez in a little shock to see it come back that fast and quickly.
6th hit of the day for the Tri. Over 100 off the bat.
105. They've yet. Well, no, I take that back. Lindor walked to get the leadoff man aboard, but he was quickly erased. Other than that, it's all been with 1 out.
As a team, the Indians came into today batting .222, dead last in all of baseball. Now, we all know that batting average not necessarily the end-all be-all when it comes to winning baseball games. Sometimes it can be overrated. You got to get hits in the clutch. You have to get guys across the plate.
Right.
But the Indians have averaged just a shade over 3.5 runs a game.
That's not going to cut it.
A year ago, granted that was for the whole season, and we're talking about 25 games thus far, but a year ago they averaged 5 runs a game.
Yeah.
And with this pitching, you're going to win a lot of games, and they won 100 games last year. 102.
Well, the key, they got to get some. They've been struggling too with runners in scoring position. They've been living on the long ball.
Yeah.
You look at it today; it's a 2-run home run. They haven't been able to string together, 10, 12 hits. They've been able to get 10, 12 hits, but they haven't been able to get hits with runners in scoring position a lot.
Yeah, under 200 as a team average with runners.
And I'll tell you another thing for this team is walks. Normally they're up in the top 2 or 3 in the league when it comes to walks. They're 12th this year. So they're taking fewer walks, but they're hitting less. So I don't know. I don't know if it goes hand in hand, but they're going to start. They'll get on a roll. You look at any team that's been rolling this year, and offensively they've been scoring a lot of runs.
Trying to turn a double play, not in time at first. Zimmer able to beat it out, but there are 2 down in the inning. I think to a degree it does go hand in hand though, because we just talked about it, and when you're not swinging the bat well, it's harder to go up there and be patient and take your walks, because I think the mindset is got to get going, got to get some hits, got to get this thing rolling, and so I think that's probably why the average is down, but walks are down too.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think you'll see that start to change. There's just too much talent here for that not to turn around at some point.
Well, your good players have to do their thing. You got to get Frankie going. Hosey's got to get going. Kipnis is hitting in that 2 slot. He's got to get rolling. Edwin, the guy that's your home run threat or that big bopper in the middle, he's got to get going. So yeah, I mean, they got to get it moving.
Marco Gonzalez, 75 pitches, 49 of those have been strikes. He's only walked 1. Ramirez sends one to right field. Back goes Haniger. The inning is over. 5 complete. 5-2 Seattle.
App lets you conveniently purchase access and forward your Indians tickets directly to your mobile device, then have it scanned for entrance to the ballpark. No need to print tickets.
Bloody Mary's on a Sunday afternoon. How about that?
Well, they're trying to stay warm and enjoying us. That's not bad.
Get your vegetables. It's a full meal right there.
Yes, it is.
Mike Zunino fouling one back. It's 0-2. Has fly to left and struck out. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Out of play down the right side. Since the 2-run homer by Robinson Cano in the second inning, Tomlin has retired 10 out of 12, including 3 via the strikeout. And at the time you were thinking, uh-oh, this could be ugly because the bullpen, right? They logged what, 6 innings yesterday? Yeah, 6 innings yesterday. So his ability to pitch here into the 6th inning, very beneficial. All with 2 outs. Ryan Healy an RBI double. Then D. Gordon and Segura with back-to-back RBI hits. Robinson Cano capped it with a 2-run homer. And then the Indians came right back, bottom of the 2nd. Brandon Guyer 2-run homer, got him on the board. But the Indians have just 2 hits since then. And the Mariners have managed just 2 hits since that 2nd inning. So give credit to both starting pitchers. What looked like it might be an old-fashioned slugfest has turned into a pretty good pitcher's duel. Nice play by Gonzalez. Boy, Arch, you know, we talk about Robinson Cano, a guy who can make it look easy with rather nonchalant-looking plays. Gonzalez, watch him here. There's no rush.
Yeah.
There's no panic. Just an easy, simple turn. Let me flip it over here. No big deal.
Playing deep. He knew when he got to that ball that he had it. Once he caught it, an easy turn and throw.
That'll bring up Ryan Healy, who doubled in a run and scored in that 2nd inning. He was the first of 3 straight 2-out RBI hitters. I'm sorry, 4 straight. Uh-oh, that is drilled and it is gone. And Healy, with his 2nd home run in the series, extends the Mariners' lead to 6-2.
Well, that's another first pitch home run too for the Seattle Mariners, and that's their 10th of the year. And he jumped one yesterday on Dan Otero late in the ball game to straightaway center, and he smokes this one to left. So that is his 2nd home run. In as many days, that's what he has for the year. You see that leg kick, got it down in time, and boy, a fastball middle, and he didn't miss it.
Back to the top of the order, D. Gordon. In off the plate. Orioles still lead the Tigers 3-1. They're in the 6th inning in Baltimore. That'll even the count at 2-2. Cincinnati 1-0 over the Twins in the 2nd. White Sox Royals still scoreless in inning number 2. Tomlin's 2-2 pitch. Up the gut again. Another base hit. That's the 4th hit of the day for D. Gordon. And the phone is ringing in the Indians bullpen.
Little cutter right there. And he goes right back up the middle with it. Didn't try and do too much. Carl Will is going to come out of the Indians dugout and stall for a little time now.
Nick Goody's going to get loose in the Cleveland bullpen.
Well, the thing with Josh, we say you have to stay out of the middle of the plate because he's not overpowering, and you look at the locations of some of the pitches he did throw today, and that's what happened. Whether it's a curveball, fastball, you cannot stay in the middle of the plate. That was a cutter as well, and that was the fastball. You know, when you're in the middle of the plate, less room for error right there. You have to stay on the edges and keep them off balance, and they've hit. And I mean, they're swinging the bats probably as well as they can swing it as a team. And they do a lot of damage with 2 outs. Again, 2 more hits in this inning.
Well, Gene Segura will be the batter as home plate umpire Jim Reynolds goes to the mound to break up the conference.
I was going to say that's one of the longer mound visits. He was going to wait out there until the umpire came. So now we got
Tyler Olson.
Say Goody was up. It's Olson. Huh.
Gene Segura drove in a run back in the second with a RBI single.
I think those 2 and 3 throws going to first base are just done by design to give him a little more time to get ready out there.
I think it's pretty safe to say Tomlin will not face Cano if he doesn't get Segura.
No, he will not.
Up high with it, 1-on-1. To give you an idea how well Seattle has swung the bats in this series, with less than 2 outs, they have 18 hits. With 2 outs, they have 20 hits.
And those are the back-breaking hits. When you get to 2 outs, you got to check. You know, not to say you don't concentrate as hard to get that 3rd out, but for whatever reason, boy, when you can score with 2 outs, it can demoralize you. They're hitting 367. The team with 2 outs.
One-two up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gonzalez has it, inning over. But a solo smash by Ryan Healy puts the Mariners up 4, middle of the 6th. Michael Brantley, Edwin Encarnacion, Yonder Alonso Dua. Marco Gonzalez, just 76 pitches on the day. Delivers outside ball one. Seattle bullpen is quiet. But so is the Indians offense. Since Brandon Geyer's 2-run homer in the second, just 2 hits. Indians came in 3rd in the majors in home runs per game, trailing only the Yankees and Angels. But when you rely on that home run ball to score better than 50% of your runs.
56%, yeah.
Eventually that can catch up to you.
52 of the 93 runs scored have come via the long ball.
Brantley patiently waiting. It's 3-1. Center field. Gordon makes a routine catch, 1 down. Check out Sports Time Ohio on Instagram to relive great moments and get insights from the players. Be sure to follow Sports Time Ohio on Instagram. Edwin is 0 for 2. Both at bats have come with runners in scoring position with 2 outs. He grounded out in the first to strand 2 and grounded out with the runner at third, or flied out with the runner at third in the third to end that in. Back. Encarnacion has already hit 6 home runs. So you figure he's at least on pace to hit 30 to 35 home runs again. But the 10 RBIs, that's the thing that jumps out at you.
Well, and left-handed hitters, I mean pitchers, the way he's swinging against them, he needs to pick it up too.
Down on strikes, 2 down. He's 0 for 3.
It's going to be a changeup, and down and away. And that's what happened. That was good location by Gonzalez.
Here is Yonder Alonso, 0 for 2. Before Alonso was traded to the Mariners last year by Oakland, he was the A's All-Star. And it was a huge thrill for him, A, to be in the All-Star game, but B, the All-Star game was in Miami, where he grew up after his family fled Cuba.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
No, it was a big deal for him.
I bet.
Now the 0-2. Off the glove of Gonzalez, but right there to back it up. Seems like Segura's all over this field. 1-2-3 go the Indians, and they trail it by 4 after 6. Your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Seventh inning, and Tyler Olson is coming on for the Indians as Terry Francona has made the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Olson will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Seattle, making his 11th appearance on the year. First appearance in the series. Nick Goody is up in the Cleveland bullpen. Cano wraps it on the ground to third. Ramirez flips it over, 1 down.
Well, the Texas Rangers make their one and only stop at Progressive Field. That'll be tomorrow for a 3-game series. Grab a $15 district ticket presented by Pastime, Ohio, or a $10 KeyBank Kids ticket only online at Indians.com.
Nelson Cruz 0 for 2. Lindor with a diving stop. Out number 2. Almost. What would you say yesterday? He hit every ball but 100 and some miles an
over
hour.
109. Yeah, 3 of them were about 115.
Well, this one was hit pretty hard too.
Yeah, it almost took Frankie into left field after diving and making the catch. But how do you like that? This was soft for him. One about 106. But you have 2 pitches, 2 outs.
And Kyle Seager 0 for 3, the batter. He can't swing at the first pitch. Not allowed.
Well, normally, we see 3 pitches in an inning before, but normally if the guys swing, the first 2 guys swing, you pretty much should take 1.
Olsen misses. It's 1-1. Jose Barrios pitching for Minnesota, but he's given up 4 runs to the Reds in the 3rd inning of that game. And the Twins trail it 4-0. The 1-2. That's a great pitch. Nice job by Tyler Olson. He strikes out Kyle Seager and retires the side on 6 pitches. Just had the 7th inning stretch. New pitcher coming on for Seattle, but the story of this game has been the Mariners 2-out hitting. It's been the story of the series, really.
Yeah, it really has, man. They continue, boy. They don't never give in, and they start a lot of it with 2 outs and nobody on. And again, they do it today. They have a big 5-run outburst with 2 outs. And once they get that first one, it's almost like throwing something in a pool of piranhas. They just all attack and they get after it. And that was the added on run after that 5-run inning to make it a 6-2 game.
New pitcher is Dan Altavilla, and he'll be coming on to face the bottom third of the Indians order here. Yeah, in the series, the Mariners batting average with 2 outs, .377. That's just nuts.
Yeah.
Yan Gomes will lead off for the Indians. Doubled and scored back in the 2nd ahead of the home run hit by Brandon Guyer. High and slicing foul out of play.
Mariners bullpen has been outstanding over their last 6 games. They've struck out 28 and only walked 2. Opponents hitting just $169 off the bullpen. They have really done a nice job too.
Wow, that really took off. 95 miles an hour.
So they have 8 bullpen pitchers. This one gets underneath, and that one took off. Well, you know, when you throw one, you get one up and in under your chin, and then you throw that breaking ball and it starts at you. You almost sort of flinch. But it comes back in, and Gomes may be a little upset with himself, but that's tough to hang in there. Ooh. That one got him.
Well, the Indians get a base runner. Any way you can muster it now. Down 4 here in the 7th inning.
Maybe tried to come back with that same pitch, but it gets away, and it gets him right on the belt. As it deflects, but you get your leadoff man aboard. Only for the 2nd time today. It was Lindor back in the 1st inning where he led off with a walk. It's the only other time they had their leadoff man on.
Baseball's funny in that, unlike pro football and pro basketball, you pretty much have a good idea where the good players are at. I mean, it's not hard to find them. College football, they're on TV all the time. You're going to see them. You do have to go out and scout them, obviously. And basketball's the same way. Only a handful of guys that make it in the NBA every year out of the draft. Baseball, on the other hand, they can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
And Dan Altavilla is an interesting story in that he's a Pennsylvania kid, went to Mercyhurst.
Did he really?
Not exactly
baseball, hey.
An MLB pipeline.
Right.
But he's throwing 100 miles an hour at times. And it's just funny how that development can happen. Right place, right time. You know, nobody was on him, obviously, coming out of high school. Big scholarships, colleges weren't really interested, but he goes to Mercyhurst. And as a senior in high school, you know, he had a pretty good year. Then he goes to Mercyhurst. Freshman year, he has an 0.91 ERA.
Well,
so he started to get
somebody
some looks.
open up some eyes.
Yeah. And the Mariners ended up making him a 5th-round pick.
Wow.
Now the 1-2 down low.
Well, he had enough time. I wonder if he drove back to Mercyhurst. In the 4-game series here, he had time.
There have to be a ton of people here from Erie that have made the drive
I would think
over.
so. Yeah, they may be out there near the bullpens.
2-2 pitch. Fond memories of Erie, Pennsylvania. Remember our days with Susie Garrity and the old Indians press tour?
Yes.
We would stop at
one of the
Hector's, Hector DeTulio's restaurant. We'd go to the Barber Center, raise money for the Barber Institute.
Spent a lot of time there.
Great Indians fans.
Snowed in, snowed out sometimes there too.
Right. The 3-2. Swung on and missed. Brandon Geyer goes down swinging for out number 1.
Well, he made a good pitch on a 3-2 count. It's a tough one to take. That's a really tough one to take. That was nasty. Late break. Now we're going to get a pinch hitter. Looks like Kip is going to come in to hit for Gonzalez. That was a good 3-2 pitch.
Now Jason Kipnis facing Dan Altavilla. And Kipnis.
His first pinch hit appearance, of course, but the Indians on the year as a team, 2 for 15 from the bench.
Kipnis 3 for his last 13, a couple of doubles. And a foul back at 97 miles an hour. Altavilla and Edwin Diaz. You got two young power arms at the back end of your bullpen.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got
and Pazos, the left-hander.
Well, yeah, but he came in a blowout yesterday. Yeah. You're right. He's got a good arm. Nicasio, he's got 10 holes. Diaz 11 for 11 in the save situation. They got some pretty good arms coming out of that bullpen.
And as we said a couple of days ago, the key for Seattle this year is their starting pitching.
Right. That's the one thing.
If they can find some consistency there, then they're going to hang around.
Well,
missed outside. Full count. When Altavilla made his debut in 2016, it was against the White Sox. He pitched a 1-2-3 8th inning and hit 100 miles an hour on the radar. He might have been a little amped up. Yeah. 3-2 pitch. That one on the backstop slipped out of his hand, so it's a walk for Kipnis.
Well, that woke up the fans, I'll tell you that.
And Gomes in the scoring position.
They weren't expecting that. So Mel Stottlemyre Jr. is coming out to have a little talk with his reliever. He hit a guy, he came back. Geyer got to a 3-2 count. He threw him a nasty slider that he got a strike on. This ball just, man, comes out of the hand and it's nowhere in sight. Look at that.
He hit the mascot.
That might have not even have made the batting cage if they were hit and they had it out there behind home plate. That's how bad that was.
We'll send it to the top of the order in Francisco Lindor. And an opportunity for the Indians to creep right back into this thing.
No doubt.
Left-hander James Pazos beginning to get loose.
Yeah, well, let me ask you a question. What do you sit on if you're a hitter here after seeing that pitch? He hit Gomes. You know, he went 3-2 to Brandon Geyer. And that last pitch to Kip, and Kip just looked and said, holy smokes, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
Remember the movie Field of Dreams where he said, if I were you, I'd look for low and away, but watch out for up and in.
Yeah, you have to make him now get in the strike zone. If he wants to give you some free base runners, you got to take them.
He's hit a batter, he's struck one out and walked a batter.
He's all over the place now.
Only 7 out of 19
Not
strikes.
what you want to see coming out of the bullpen. You want to see strikes. Then he throws a 2-0 slider, maybe slows him down a little bit, but that was a pretty good pitch.
Yeah,
all right, now he's in the strike zone. Pazos, the left-hander, is up and loose.
Oh, to the backstop again, and both runners move up on the wild pitch.
Oh, he's short-lived for this game. Again, this one slips out of his hand. Whatever that pitch is, I think I'd can it. I wouldn't call it if I'm Mike Zunino.
It's like it came out of his hand sideways, didn't it?
I know. That's one I wouldn't call for again. So now it's a 3-1 count. Runners at second and third, and very big. Indians got to take advantage now. They're running out of bounds.
And that's ball 4. The bases are loaded with 1 out, and Altavilla's day, you would think, is over.
Oh, I would absolutely think so.
Here comes Scott Service.
It's just a matter of time. He's looking at the chart. He's going to be out of there. You can't let him crawl back in without getting a base hit. He did the Indians a favor loading the bases, so they certainly say thank you, but he's got to go get his left-hander.
James Pazos will be coming on. We'll see if maybe Raj Davis could be in for a pinch hit role. We'll let you know when we come back. James Pazos coming on for Seattle. And Pazos making his 9th appearance on the year. He's pitched 10 innings and has struck out 10 batters. Struck out 12 batters, only walked 1. And Rajai Davis, who could be a potential pinch hitter, is not in that mode right now. He's standing at the top step of the dugout, jacket on, gloves on. So Tito's going to stay with Bradley Zimmer. Go left on left here and see if maybe Zimmer can.
Well, Pazos came into the game yesterday and pitched the 7th inning. He struck out Geyer, the pinch hitter. He struck out Zimmer looking, and he got Lindor on a 1-2-3 7th inning. So he's coming in here now with 1 out and the bases loaded and in a little bit of a jam.
Well, this is a huge opportunity for the Indians. Throws it by him, strike 1 at 95 miles an hour. Zimmer has gone 5 for 17 against lefties so far this year. Play, and it's 0-2. Tribe has a pretty good track record thus far with the bases loaded, going 4 for 10. You like the way the speed works on the bases. They get faster as you go around the horn. Fights it off. Pazos just rearing back and throwing bullets 95 miles an hour. Now the 0-2. And another foul. Zimmer came into today 11 out of 31 at home. Almost twice as many hits here at Progressive Field as he has on the road thus far. In tight. Well, he stayed with the heat, Arch.
Yeah. Stayed inside. That's what he got him looking yesterday. He tried to go in there and tie him up. He's not going to give him much swinging room. Doesn't want him to extend the arm, so we'll see. I would think eventually the slider's got to come. There it was.
He laid off.
Yeah, he had him down 0-2, so he tried to set that slider up with a fastball in off the plate that he missed with, and then get him to chase. But no, he didn't offer. No.
So now it's 2-2. Back with a fastball, and he fouls that off again.
Yeah, keep battling, boy, battling until he maybe makes a mistake.
Well, this is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And John Adams busy banging away the 30th pitch overall for Seattle this inning. High fastball struck him out. 2 down.
And then he elevated, so he only threw him the one breaking ball in that at-bat, elevated the fastball. And out of the zone, and that's not what he wants. But he ended up, you see it, you swing at it, he will be out number 2.
Leaves it up to Jose Ramirez with the bases loaded and 2 down. Ramirez 2 for 3 on the day. He singled in the first. He doubled in the third. Up high with a fastball. Off the plate. 2-0. Hits in his last 66 at bats for Jose Ramirez. The 2-0. Line to deep left field. Gamble back. Dives in. He hung on and made the catch. Or did he? Yes, he did. The umpire says he did.
He called him out.
Well, the call's already been made out. And we might get a review and a challenge on this one. The ball came out of his glove.
It sure did.
It clearly came out of his glove.
Yeah, it did.
And now the question is going to be,
where do you put the base runners?
Where do you put the base runners?
We have not seen this one yet. The ball came out. He called them out, and I'll tell you, they were running. And then the umpire said, no, he's out.
You're probably going to get a double and 3 runs home. That'd be my guess. With 2 outs,
we'll see. Let's see. He makes an excellent attempt.
But when he hits the ground, the
there
ball
it is.
comes out.
It comes out. We've got it. There it is. It's out of the glove. That would have to be a double, and I would like to see all 3 runs score. I don't know if they'll do that, or they'll just go double and 2-run score there. But this, we have never seen this. The crowd now saw the replay on the scoreboard. They say he dropped the ball. He
and so does Gamble. Gamble's staring up at the big board.
Well, why would you get up and throw it? He got up to throw it. You know, when he came out, so you knew he didn't catch the ball. I was going to say you got to look at it even if he did, because he got up to throw the baseball. This is going to be beautiful. Now, here you go. Let's see. The runners are off with 2 outs and running. Here goes Gamble to catch the ball. Boom, he's out. Now the umpire calls him out. That run's going to score easily. What do you do with Lindor on second base here? Because, you know, he was going to continue to run until he saw the umpire go out. So that's this is definitely overturned. Now they just got to figure out what you do with the runners, and I hope 3 score. We'll see.
Mark Wagner is the crew chief. He's on your right. Home plate umpire Jim Reynolds on the left. Again, the call on the field was an out, but it was clear that it was not an out. So the only question now is
Base runners.
where do the runners get placed? And
I don't think we've ever had one of those calls.
no,
here.
this will be a first for us.
Yes, it will.
All right, so here we go. Safe call. And you're going to give him third base?
No, they're going to make him stop at third, second and third.
Oh, there's no, absolutely
but see,
no
that's
way.
what I said, because it's a double. That's what I figured. They'd only give him the 2 runs, and he's going to explain it. See, that's what he wants, an explanation that he hears from New York, because this umpire doesn't know. They're telling him what to do.
Now, there is absolutely no way with 2 outs you're running on anything.
I guarantee that's what Tito's saying. He's going away from the ball. He's around second base. He's going to score on that play with 2 outs. I guarantee that's what he's telling him. He wants a better explanation than he's hearing right now, I can tell you that. Well, it looks like it's going to be a 6-4 game. So you give him a double, 2 RBIs, and now second and third. It's not going to change. You can sit out there, and I would agree with him. I would think 3 runs could score, but that's just the. Well, the first time we've seen this situation, and we don't like it. The first time.
All right, here's a look.
Take a look at the base runners. There goes the baseball, and there's Lindor. He's off and running.
He's around second.
Now he's got to get. Oh, he's got the ball quickly, but you see, and then the umpire raised his hand. That's the thing that stopped everything.
So second and third, 2 down. It's a 6-4 ball game. Michael Brantley fouls it off. I guess, you know, after looking at that synced up replay, I guess I can see where the umpires can't clearly claim that he would have scored easily.
Right. No, you can't say that, because he got up with the ball. That's what I said. He came up throwing, so you knew he didn't catch the ball. That's the one thing. Now, if he got up and lollygagged and pretend that he made the catch all along, it would have been different. And we did sync it up, and it was tough to see that, you know, Lindor would have truly scored, because he was up throwing the ball, and then he quit when the umpires, he saw the hand up. So, well, right now Brantley's got to fight. He's down 0-2. You've got the tying runs out on the bases, and this could be a heck of a 2-out comeback.
Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tell you one thing about Ben Gamble, he's not afraid to play shallow. It's the first time I think they've gotten one over his head finally.
Barely.
The 1-2. Right back to Pazos. And the Mariners survive a shaky 7th. Indians get 2 back. They trail by 2, headed to the 8th.
but they could have scored more. As we welcome you back to center field, Al Pulowski, Jensen Lewis, right? The last play that everyone saw, Gamble. Great effort, however, didn't catch it. He knew he didn't catch it, came up throwing, but the umpire called him out. So because he blew the call, that's a dead ball. That's why Lindor had to go back to third.
Yeah, I agree with what Matt and Rick were talking about and how the explanation came down. There's just not enough evidence to say that Lindor could have scored there. Right. But again, that's the difference, and hopefully it doesn't cost the Indians.
Yeah, because he probably would have scored if they would have made the correct call. Let's hope it doesn't haunt the Tribe. Indians live after the game, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Let's go back upstairs to Matt and Rick.
All right, thanks, guys. And it's going to be up to Nick Goody. And this is key, paramount, if you will. You got to hold him now to give yourself any opportunity. And this is a Seattle team that we've seen. Like yesterday, a couple in the ninth pull away. In the 8th inning, second game of the series, they got a run to win the game. And in the game Kluber pitched, they scored late. 2 in the 7th, 3 in the 9th to make it a one-run game. So. If Goody can hold him, then you've still got a fighting chance with the bats. Boy, so close. Jason Kipnis stays in the game at second base. Imagine this, though, just for a second. If you don't have replay, and you get an out call on the field, and then you see that, you'd want to riot.
Well, it's the way it used to be before replay.
Deep right. Back is Geyer. Can't make the play. Short hops the wall. Into second is Haniger. He's going to go to third. Kipnis' throw. Not in time. A leadoff triple for Mitch Haniger.
And he almost stopped coming around second, didn't he?
He did.
Double check and look, and then kick it back into gear. So he's able to get to. He's able to get to third. We'll take a look at it. I want to see why they didn't get it in. Breaking ball. Geyer gave it everything he had. It short hops the wall. Nothing he could do. So Zimmer comes over to help. Oh, he dropped it. He bobbled it. That's what happened. That could be a double and an error depending on how they want to score it. I didn't see that bobble.
Yeah, it's like he
went over to pick it up, and then he didn't have it in his throwing hand. So now they got to play infield in with nobody out.
Swung out and missed. Strike one. Zunino 0 for 3. And Goody puts him in the hole. 0-2. Shot for the outside corner with a fastball and just missed off the plate. Swung out and missed. Nick Goody gets a big strikeout of Zunino. One down, not out of the woods yet. But that is a big first out because Zunino can do a lot of damage.
Well, you're right. He got ahead of him, and he gets to throw that breaking ball, that good slider that goes straight down out of the zone, and got him to chase a pitch he couldn't put in play. So that's out number one. He's got 2 more tough ones to get to try and strand that guy at third.
Gamble pops it out of play. Gamble twice flied to right. Last time grounded to second. Indians have the infield in. You can see him right there around the cut of the grass. Haniger runs well at third. He's coming home. Diving attempt. It gets through, and the Mariners get another run. So Ben Gamble delivers a seeing eye RBI single through a drawn-in infield on the right side. It's 7-4 Seattle.
Yeah, that didn't take long to get him in. That's what happens. Unless it's right at one of your infielders, there's not a chance, and it goes off the end of the glove of Alonso, and that deflects it past Kipnis. And even if he gets it, he would have had to beat him to the bag anyway, because Alonso was going for it. So that'll be a base hit. Another run comes in, and boy, that makes it tough.
So here's Ryan Healy. He has doubled, homered, driven in 2, scored 2. He just blasted one high and deep, and goodbye. Goodbye and good night. Ryan Healy with his 3rd hit of the game, his 2nd home run of the ball game, 3rd home run in the series. A 2-run shot makes it a 3-run 8th inning. And Seattle now leads it 9-4.
You know, they came back and they answered in a hurry. It's a breaking ball. It's a slider that doesn't slide. It stayed up and it was spinning, and boy, it was deposited in the bleachers in a hurry. So the leadoff triple. He got 1 strikeout, then the single, and a 2-run home run. And it's now 9-4. This offense is on fire. And that's going to send a lot of the fans to the exits.
To third. Back at it, stopped by Ramirez. Throws him out, 2 down.
Stepping in now for Seattle, number 2, Gene Segura.
I didn't realize that Ramirez didn't field that cleanly. Went off his glove, and I think it hit him in the chest, and then he grabbed it and threw him out. Gene Segura has an RBI single and a run scored today. 6 hits, 6 runs batted in for the series. Cincinnati's extended their lead over Minnesota to 7-0 in the 5th inning in Minneapolis. Elsewhere in the AL Central, the Orioles lead the Tigers 4-3. They're in the 8th in Baltimore. 2-0 pitch. Low, ball 3. White Sox lead the Royals 2-1, 4th inning in Kansas City. Three and one. That's ball 4. Segura walks to bring up Robinson Cano.
Now batting for Seattle, number 22, Robinson Cano.
Yeah, this Seattle team, now I'm looking at these scorecards over the series. Boy, they put some crooked numbers on the board.
Yeah.
It's 4 times yesterday.
It's the 6th time they've scored 3 or more in an inning.
Yeah, those are hard to come back from.
Cano bounced the first off the glove of Alonso. And Kipnis throws it away. So the Mariners
Cano wasn't even running.
No, he was out from you to me, but the throw from Kipnis took off on him. And now Mariners at second and third after the error.
Has had 1 or 2 errors. Oh my goodness, he wasn't even running down. Let's watch this again. I didn't. All right, he tops it. It's a backhand. And Alonso didn't field it. Kipnis tries to throw underhand, and it just goes wide. Cano was not even running down the line. So it'll go as an error.
So second and third with 2 down, and you give the big guy Nelson Cruz a chance to hit. And he's 0 for 3. The Mariners are going home, an off day tomorrow, and then they begin a homestand against Oakland and then the Angels. Indians welcome in the Rangers starting tomorrow night. 3-game series, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and then a makeup doubleheader against the Blue Jays on Thursday. Fouled right back. He hits 0-2. Too tall. One-two is in the dirt. Long inning for Goody. 23rd pitch coming up here. Swung on and missed. He blew it by him upstairs to end the inning, but the Seattle Mariners put up a 3 spot to pull away as we head to the bottom of the 8th. (9-4) Seattle lead as we take a look back at our storylines brought to you by for dealers. Nelson Cruz has been held in check today, and so has Yonder Alonso. But the story of this one continues to be the Mariners' ability to crush the baseball. 2 out hitting and crooked innings. That's been their calling card. Indians closed to within 2 runs after the 2-run double by Jose Ramirez in the 7th. But Seattle came right back and put 3 on the board in the top half of the 8th. So here's Edwin Encarnacion. If it feels like Edwin is off to a slow start, consider this. Murph looked this up. Last year on May 1st, Encarnacion had 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. This year he has 6 homers, 10 runs batted in on April 29th.
I'll be darned. There you have it. Hitting a little better, but pretty much the same start.
Broken bat roller. Segura. 1 down. Well, congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have knocked out the Indiana Pacers, have survived, winning Game 7 105-101 as the cheers erupt from the Gateway Plaza. Tommy, do we know who the Cavs have already in round 2?
Toronto.
They'll be the Toronto Raptors.
Yes.
LeBron James with 45 points. And did he play all 48 minutes? No, 43 minutes. Oh, man. Yonder Alonso goes down. Fouled that one off of his leg.
Is this knee? It looks like he's rubbing the knee. Gets a little help from Zunino. Watch him. See if it comes off the knee. Yes. Oh my goodness. Above the knee. Ouch. Man, that has to hurt. Look at he's waiting to get some feeling back in there. He's just saying wait. He told the trainer stay put.
Yeah, he fouled that off the inside of his right knee.
Yeah, they're at the thigh up top. My goodness, you don't want to hit a ground ball now and have to run.
Diving stop. Guess who?
Segura.
My goodness.
He's everywhere. Got 6, I think, today. And he is everywhere, and he did have to run down the line after fouling that ball off his leg.
I've got him with 7 assists, but I may have miscounted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're right. 3 times Alonso.
And you know, I don't keep track on my card how many times he's made those plays on the right side of second base because of the shifting and just the way they move around on the infield. Yan Gomes has scored a couple of runs for the Indians today. Doubled in the 2nd. He was hit by a pitch. Came around to score in the 7th. Base hit into right field. Just shot it the other way, and they had a shift on for Gomes. There was nobody home.
Well, there you'll see. Stay on the base. Well, he picked that ball up off the ground. That was down, and it looked like Healy, he broke to the bag, tried to go the other way and wasn't going to make the play. Cano's yelling, he's getting on him right now. He is all over him saying, what are you doing? That ball came the other way. So Gomes gets a hit. That's his second today. Tyler Naquin's going to pinch hit.
Gomes goes down to second base. Two quick strikes. Nicasio deals, and strike three called. No runs ahead, a man left. We'll go to the ninth. 9-4 Seattle. Of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Well, heading into the ninth, Mariners lead at 9-4. Zach McAllister coming back. He's going to get another chance to pitch today. Fourth pitcher for the Indians. Seattle, 9 runs on 13 hits today. Ebb left 7. He's going to face Seager, Haniger, Zunino.
Kyle Seager takes down low, ball 1. It would appear that some of the 17,878 have headed out to the plaza to join the party.
Yeah. Well, why not?
Indians down to their last at bat coming up. McAllister deals. Seager takes a strike. It's 1-2. lot of anxiety in the air going into today.
There was today. Yes, there was. You don't know when that second series starts, do you? Tuesday, Wednesday? Tuesday in Toronto? Okay.
Now the 2-2. Pop to left. And Brantley squeezes it, one down. Play of the game brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet. That was a smash off the bat of Ryan Healy. His second home run of the game, a two-runner in the 8th inning.
110 miles an hour and 427 feet. He has been on fire, boy.
Yeah.
Third extra base hit of the game. I mentioned he hit one yesterday in the 9th inning, a 2-run shot. He didn't have a home run coming in. He's going home with 3.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Arch, when this series began, Ryan Healy was batting .091 with no homers, 4 runs batted in. He's going to leave hitting over 200 with 3 homers and 10 RBIs.
There you go. Boy, what a series. He doesn't want to leave, does he?
All it takes is a few games. That
He may want to stay here.
cold? I don't know. I like the cold.
Seattle is no sun-drenched day. It was a little chilly when we were up there. It's damp there as well.
Haniger just crushes one. And that one's headed for the exit. Down the old vomitory, Arch.
That's what you had the other night.
10-4. 10-4 Seattle. These guys have had some kind of serious swing at the bat.
That's 10 home runs for him, so he's going to tie with Gregorius and Trout. There's the vomitory. See you later. Go chase it. That's the second one in the series hit out there. I think the other one went closer to left center field, the one over to the right of it.
That's 10 home runs. No, you got 9. I got 10. I don't know. I miscounted somewhere maybe.
I got 10. No, Tommy's wrong. Don't worry about it. I've got 10 too.
He's a battery short in that calculator.
I'm going to check it today.
Strike 3 called, 2 down. Zunino out looking. And we'll bring up Ben Gamble.
Left fielder Ben Gamble.
They hit 4 in two games, and then they hit 2 in another one.
The 0-1. Hit on the ground to second base. Kipnis stays with it and throws him out. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. 10-4 Seattle. Jose Ramirez with the bases loaded, drove to deep left field. Ben Gamble made a great effort. It was ruled a catch on the field, but immediately there was protestation, and the Indians said that we want to take a look at this. Replay confirmed he dropped the ball, but then the question is, all right, well, what do you do with the runners? So after they looked at it, they put runners at second and third, gave the Indians 2 runs. We thought maybe it should have been a 3-run double, because with 2 outs, everybody's running like crazy. Terry even came out and argued with Mark Wegner, the crew chief. Not really argue, but he wanted him to know, hey, I don't like that decision. I think 3 runs should have scored there. Bottom line is, as it turns out, it didn't really matter. But an unusual play in that we haven't seen one of those where the replay officials have to go back and say, all right, now what do we do with the runners because of the call on the field?
And you know what? When it's all said and done, I think they made the right call.
I think you're right. Yeah,
I do. Because the thing that gave it away was Gamble came up and started to throw it as quickly as he could, and then he saw the umpire's arm up.
And he just stopped.
And then he stopped to try and decoy him because he thought he caught the ball. Well, replay showed he did not. So he would have got it in quickly, and I think Lindor was around second base, but not by just a couple steps. So I think it was called correctly.
Jason Kipnis down on strikes, 1 gone here in the 9th. Francisco Lindor is 1 for 2 with a couple of walks on the afternoon. Popped up foul. That's going to get out of play. In the air, left field. And there are 2 down.
Hitting for the Tribe, center fielder Bradley Zimmer.
So Edwin Diaz to face Bradley Zimmer with 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. And he throws that one by him. Flinches, but it's outside. Out of play. Strike 3 called, and the game is over. So Seattle comes to Cleveland and wins 3 out of 4, beating up the Indians in the last 2 games by a combined score of 22-8. 12-4 yesterday, 10-4 this afternoon. So the Mariners will head home 16-11 on the year, and the Indians will continue the homestand with a mark of 14-12. Marco Gonzalez, the winner, he's 3-2. The loss to Josh Tomlin, he's 0-4. Tomlin did well to get through 6 innings. He saves the bullpen. The Indians did a heck of a job to kind of get their way back in and make it a game late. but boy, that bullpen just couldn't hold him, and the Seattle did what they've done all series long, the big inning.
I'll tell you what, you keep an eye on. I know they're swinging a bat probably as well as any team can swing it right now for them, but I'll tell you what, they were impressive in this series. They didn't quit. They scored a lot with 2 outs. They've got some thunder in that lineup. And, I mean, when you look at the, Healy came in. He had 3 extra base hits, 2 home runs, 3 home runs in 2 days. And then Haniger had a heck of a series. I'll tell you what, these guys can swing the bat. As we talked about, if they get any starting pitching, they should be pretty good because their bullpen looks like it's pretty good too. But, they're in that tough Western Division. So right now we will see. But it's time for the Indians to regroup, man. And, they were playing very well in this ballpark, getting beat 3 out of 4. So tomorrow night we'll get another Western Division team, and we haven't fared well against the West so far.
Yeah, and right now, look, nobody needs to sound the panic alarm.
No.
I know Al and Jensen are chomping at the bit. They're ready to get going. So I'll send this out to you guys with this, guys. It's the end of April, so we're not going to overreact. But as we sit here today, boy, starting pitching's now taking its lumps a couple of days in a row. Bullpen's had its issues. Offense is very inconsistent. Defense kind of throwing it around. They kind of need a day to sort of, hey, guys, let's get back to business. Let's regroup as a team.
Yeah, Matt, it's a great point. And, Jensen and I were just out here talking just a moment ago, and you and Rick were talking as well. The bullpen here without Andrew Miller, now you've got to go a little bit deeper. And the Indians are looking for that consistent setup guy. Maybe Tyler Olson there. He's looked pretty good. Belivo's looked good in a couple of appearances. But ultimately, Jensen, they've got to figure that out. Who's the setup man now with Brian Shaw in Colorado and with Andrew Miller on the disabled list?
And I think that's the big thing where everyone was wanting to bag on Brian Shaw. And you're kind of seeing here in the early going. And I agree with Matty and Rick. It's still too early.
Yeah,
we are at the
absolutely.
end of April here. And I don't think you were going to find a guy right within the first 4 weeks of the season because, you got to go through some situations where you do very well and then you don't do very well, and it's all about how you come back from that. So Nick Goody, Zach McAllister, they've had some good outings, they've had some bad outings. So now the proof's going to be, hey, what do you do now moving forward? How are your next 2 weeks of outings like, and especially in the leverage situations?
All right, stay tuned for Indians Live. It's straight ahead. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Much more to talk about on this one as the Indians made a nice comeback attempt, but Seattle, they get the win. They take 3 of 4 from the Tribe this weekend and take the season series 5 games to 2.